Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Butler Beat. I'm Tyler Springer. Well, Butler University's third annual Arts Fest is just a few weeks away. The event lasts 11 days beginning April 9th and includes over 50 shows in dance, music, theater, lectures, and more. Joining me now is the Marketing Director of Arts and Culture, Meg Liffick. Thank you so much for joining me, Meg.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So, let's talk a little bit about what Arts Fest is to start off for the first-year students who may have never heard of this thing before.
Yeah, absolutely. It is an extravaganza. It is 11 straight days of performances that highlight really the best of what Butler University has to offer, as well as international and national artists renowned in jazz, classical music, dance. We've got a band called the Reverend Peyton's Big Band, and they will be performing on the Saturday night close to closing on the 18th. Reverend Peyton's actually a graduate of Butler University, so we've got alumni as well.
So, I mean, why, put all these events into one thing and call it Arts Fest rather than, spread them out throughout the year?
Well, it's a great way to showcase everything at once, to really kind of pull the energies of the university together, to pull the community together, and to showcase what Butler has to offer, but also what Indianapolis has to offer. Some of our events this year are actually taking place off campus. There's going to be 3 events at the IMA this year as well.
And I know you guys have themes from year to year. This is the third annual Arts Fest, so what can we expect this year?
Well, it's all about outlaws and outsiders. So you're going to see people that push the boundaries of what the arts are. You're going to hear stories about people who have been brave, who have really kind of stepped outside the boundaries of what's considered normal. There's works of art. There's contemporary pole dancing, which some people might call outsider art. There's also artists who have started new forms of art. A contemporary dance company, Lulu Washington Dance Company, who really has started something out of nothing and created their own form of dance.
So then what's the preparation looking like on the side for you guys right now?
Yeah, it's a very, very busy time. The students who are performing are rehearsing. The faculty are all involved as well in the Jordan College of the Arts, and they are helping to prep the students, but some of them will be performing as well. We've got international artists who are coming in, so they're booking their flights and getting ready to come here to Indianapolis. And then on the community side, we're working with lots of partners from across the community. The Indianapolis Chamber Orchestra, which is a chamber orchestra that's housed here on campus that performs in the Schrott, they're making preparations. Angela Brown, who's a faculty member for the School of Music, is traveling in and preparing and getting ready for her event as well.
And so what does the turnout usually look like for you guys in the past couple of years?
Yeah, last year we had over 6,500 people come for all of the events. Wow. And that includes the ballet that happens during closing weekend. So this year it's the Sleeping Beauty, which is at Clues Memorial Hall. So we can have up to 2,000 people per event for that. But across the board, we get about 6,500. We're hoping for more, of course, this year.
Yeah, and is it just Butler students, faculty, staff, or is it the surrounding community members coming to these things as well?
Oh, it's absolutely the community. They really help support this, and we've got a great group of people from throughout Indianapolis that come to these events. That really support the students here. And then, of course, the students support each other as well. And for those that are participating, it's great to have their friends and family members here to see what they've been working on all semester and throughout the year, in fact.
And so is that kind of maybe one of the reasons why you put it in April, is to kind of leading up to the end of the year here, the big grand finale?
A little bit, yeah. It gives them a full year to kind of warm up and to get comfortable with the pieces they'll be performing, and to really be prepared for this event as well. I think when you've got this many people coming to see you, you want as much practice time as you possibly can get.
Yeah, I bet.
And they have been practicing hard, and they are ready, let me tell you.
Well, I'm excited to see it. And so, I mean, obviously there's a lot of events going on, but are there, you talked about a few of the events that people are flying in from and outsiders coming in here. Is there a few events that you really expect to see big turnouts for this year?
Well, opening night is actually a JCA-produced event, and that's called Unlikely Heroes. It's got Mike Colburn, who is the director of bands here at Butler University, conducting, and he used to be the conductor of the U.S. Marine Corps band, which was known as the President's Own band. So he's a big deal.
Yeah.
He's leading the students in the performance, but we also have Clarence Page, who's a writer for the Chicago Tribune, coming in and doing a narration of some of Lincoln's best writings, and that's to a piece called Lincoln Portrait by Aaron Copland. So that's going to be a really exciting event. That's on April 9th, and that's opening night, so there's a lot of fun festivities around that event. We have people flying in from Sierra Leone, actually, for this event.
Wow.
There's the Sierra Leone's Refugee All-Stars that are performing on the Thursday night of the event, and they are, and that's the 16th, April 16th. Wednesday, April 15th. They are a group of refugees that actually are from Sierra Leone, but during a civil war there in the 90s had to flee the country, and while they were in refuge, they formed this band, and they've been touring ever since, and they're one of the premier Western African rock bands in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we get them
and
here
we
at
get
Butler.
them here at Butler, which is pretty special. Yeah, yeah.
So obviously there's different events from year to year, but are there any other new kind of additions or any add-ons or changes that you guys have made in this event from last year?
I think one of the more exciting events, there's actually two. We're trying to broaden the perspective of what the arts are.
Sure.
And so there's two events that kind of help us do that. One is the contemporary pole dancing event, which is on the Monday night of ArtsFest. And that is this group of artists who have really elevated the art of pole dancing and really kind of pushed the boundaries of what dance may be considered. That's a new event because we've typically stayed with more classical arts and traditional arts. The Reverend Peyton's Big Damn Band is also performing on the Saturday night, closing night of ArtsFest. And that's a really exciting one as well because that's a pop music concert, and really there haven't been any pop music concerts to date with the ArtsFest. So that's one that we hope will appeal to a younger audience, the student audience as well. Sun King, for those that are able to drink, are going to be on hand to serve up some of their brews. And so that'll make it a little bit more festive and fun as well. And
what about prices for most of these events? I mean, I know some of them are free, right?
Yeah, there's free events. Student ticket prices for the ticketed events start at $7.50, and so that's a pretty reasonable price for all of the events that are ticketed. And then if they want to bring people from the outside that are not necessarily students, tickets range from $15 to $30.
Sure. And what about those Butler cultural requirements? Can students get those from these things?
Almost all the events of Butler ArtsFest are BCR credits. So I think that if you're looking to fill in those last few BCRs, you're going to get that at ArtsFest.
And I know you talked about kind of appealing to a younger audience, but obviously, you know, not all students at Butler, you know, go to weekly arts performances over in Schrod or Lilly or Clues. So, you know, how do you take ArtsFest and kind of appeal it to more of that crowd who maybe necessarily aren't attending arts, you know, throughout the year?
Well, that's a great challenge for us, and I think it's an exciting one too. And that's why we've changed the program a little bit this year. Of course, there is the classical component and the classical arts component, but there is a more broadening definition of what the arts are, and we bring in those pop elements and those fun elements as well. There's also, you know, the partnerships that we do in the community to really make this a festive event, and that's Sun King coming on board, that's community events. We've got the African Center that's going to be hosting an event prior to the Sierra Leone Refugee All-Stars on site. So it'll just make it a big community-wide festivity.
All right, Meg, so bottom line, why should people come to ArtsFest?
Because there's amazing talent on stage as part of Butler ArtsFest, and it's an awesome opportunity to see some of the world's and campus's greatest artists.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Meg, for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
It's great having you, and I look forward to joining ArtsFest for my first time, so I'll look forward to some of those performances.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
And ticket information can be found on the ArtsFest website, butlerartsfest.com. The event runs from April 9th through the 19th. I'm Tyler Springer, and you've been watching the Butler Beat.